What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Corvette Weekly. Welcome back to the show that is about everything and anything Corvette. We have kind of a special guest with us tonight. We got Amber here. It's been a while since she's been on the live video, so let's welcome her back.
Hopefully Professor Corvette's on tonight because it's not just a drive-by, it's a whole live.
There you go. So I'm sure there he is.
There he is.
There he is. All right, guys. Again, thank you for tuning in. We got Amber this week. Like I said, special guest, we'll call her.
Thank you, David, for letting me replace you this week.
He might jump in the comment section at some point tonight because I kind of wanted to show something that he sent me not too long ago. Was kind of, I don't want to say funny because it definitely wasn't funny, but it was interesting. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, though, guys, because if you remember last week, I think it was last week, we broke the news that the new colors for 2027 were going to be a gray and that Admiral Blue. And we got confirmation today that it is in fact going to be Admiral Blue, even though I already pretty much knew it. There is now confirmation 100%. Admiral Blue is coming back for 2027. And we're going to show you something here in a second, which it sounds like a lot of you guys have already seen, that will show you that that is confirmed. And it also confirms the existence, again, of the Grand Sport. So it seems like every week we're getting more and more confirmation that this car is coming and that it's going to, in fact, be available, at least, in Admiral Blue. So,
wow, thanks for the warm welcome. John Perkins. Hey, Christina, how are you? Dan, I saw Dan, Maria, Coco on. General Lee. He got a new screen name, it looks like.
No, that's the same.
Is that the same one?
Yep.
Looks a little different.
General Lee says, "You're the boss. We all know it."
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Well, you got to watch giving her inflating her ego like that, General.
There's Bill. Bill Miller's on. Dan.
So it was a good idea, I guess. It was Amber's idea to actually be on tonight. So
I like to come on. I'm on vacation this week. I like to come on every once in a while.
Yeah, guys, smash the thumbs up if you're liking the content. We got a lot of Grand Sport stuff to talk about. There's been, I would call it a leak, but it's not really a leak. There's been confirmation of the Grand Sport again, of course. We're going to talk about that in a second, but we also have a lot of other things to talk about. Everybody's favorite topic, constraints. Because guess what? There's constraints still, and they're still carbon fiber related. We're only 7 years into this thing. Still can't figure out carbon fiber. But we're going to talk about all of it tonight, guys. Again, thank you for tuning in. We're actually not going to have a giveaway tonight. Tonight's just going to be strictly Corvette talk, no giveaway. I like to do that from time to time to give a little bit of a break to always talking about the giveaway every 5 seconds. So let's just keep it strictly news tonight.
I think I'm down with KP's comment. Video of Amber driving the Z, please and thanks. Actually, we have about 12 inches of snow still trying to melt here.
It's more than 12, yeah.
But we have another snowstorm coming this or what is it, Friday? Maybe we take it out on Friday. You know, some people drive their cars in the snow, you know?
It's not about the snow for me. I don't care about the snow. I care about the salt. And trust me when I say there is enough salt out there. I drove my truck one time and it literally looked like it was white. It was just covered in snow and salt. I don't care about the snow. It's the salt that ruins things. David is in the house. DBM Racing. What's up, man? He says hit those thumbs ups, guys.
Thanks, David.
Remember to smash those thumbs ups.
Hot Rod Pod.
What will the constraints be on the Grand Sport? I can only begin to imagine. One of my subscribers texted me today. He's got a ZR1 on order. And he was just told from the dealership that he has the ZR1 on order from that they can't get the carbon ceramic rotors right now.
So if it's not the carbon fiber for the Z07, it's carbon ceramic rotors.
Yeah.
That's good.
So the carbon ceramic rotors effectively stops anybody from getting a ZR1 right now because you can't even opt that car without them. So similar to the E-Ray where it's carbon ceramics or nothing, you can't get carbon fiber. All the carbon fiber for the Z07 is on constraint. The ZR1 carbon fiber, actually, I don't think is on that list.
David said he can't wait to see us soon. What do we got, about 4 or 5 more days? He'll be up?
About a week.
About a week?
Yeah. Without spoiler. Wow, that's weird. Okay, so there is some constraints for the ZR1. Let me get this up over here. It's interesting because the aero kit's not on constraint for the ZR1. It's just if you get the rockers without the spoiler. So that's actually interesting, because that tells me that it's the non-ZTK version of this that is on constraint, which is very unusual. Usually it's the other way around. So they can make these massive spoilers out of carbon fiber, but they can't get you just what looks like the side skirts. Yes, because it says without spoiler. That's an incredible. Leave it to GM to do something like this. This makes absolutely no sense. And actually, no, Robert Brunn says he heard it's no ZTK. It's the opposite. They can get you ZTK, but not the non-ZTK one.
Well, you know what they can do? They can always go with RSC.
Yeah. I mean, that's
products from Racing Sport Concepts.
Always a good option. 100%. And 100% Vader says Admiral Blue is on constraint. 100% it will be in the very beginning. Mark my words. It always goes this way. The new color is always on constraint for the first month or so, maybe 2. Hash marks. It wouldn't surprise me. Literally would not surprise me if somehow GM is the only company on the planet that finds a shortage on vinyl. Wouldn't surprise me. Packet Watchdog says, how much horsepower is this baby going to have, and will it be all-wheel drive? It is not going to be all-wheel drive. It will have roughly, what I've heard, about 540 horsepower. Professor Corvette says he heard from an insider that actually the 7th and the 9th pistons are on constraint.
He's a real character, isn't he?
What's up, Mark? He says, whatever GM is on, I certainly do not want it. Yeah. Man, I'll tell you. Oh, there we go. DBM Racing says for Jay Brazelton, who won the intake, he said it will be out by the end of the week. That's good.
Oh, that's a fast turnaround.
That is a fast turnaround. David's not messing around here, guys. Oh, it might be the Alcon brakes. Yeah, see, my subscriber told me it was the carbon ceramic rotors, but it might actually be the Alcon. And then that would effectively put the ZTK on constraint as well, but not the high wing aero package, which is crazy. Jacob says RSC is amazing. TJ is such a nice guy. Everything about RSC seems to be awesome. The quality of their products, the quality of their customer service, the quality of the people that work there. It's great across the board, which is very unusual nowadays. It's not usually what you find with companies. There's always some sort of hiccup in there, but
we just spent 2 days with Bill, about 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
He came over, I guess.
Yep. General Lee, this is the question of the day right here. He says, why does GM not just build a carbon fiber facility so we don't have to deal with all these constraints? Why doesn't GM just make their own carbon fiber? We've had this question. Well, we've talked about this question on here before, actually. There's not an easy answer for this, because my answer, not being, in the know with GM necessarily, is I have no idea. It would make perfect sense for them to do it. They just don't.
Jamie's on, Glass City Car Nerd. Hey, you hear we're getting more snow Friday. Jamie's a local to us. He only lives, about 15, 20 minutes away.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, more snow. But, yeah, so... Oh, okay. Bella says, Corvette Blogger says 26 Corvette model year will end May 29th with final orders happening in March. Have you heard this? I haven't heard exactly that, but that's roughly what we've seen in the past, so that's probably about right. That's interesting, Professor. If that's real, that would be interesting. Let's see. So let's talk a little bit about these constraints. So obviously I showed them a second ago, but what's really interesting here, guys, is we are still looking at constraints for the 26 Stingray. That car has literally been out for going on 7 model years, and we're still not able to get a gloss black wheel. How only GM could have a constraint on the color black. Like, I don't know. But anyway, moving on with the E-Ray, same thing, 26 E-Ray. The carbon fiber ground effects, which they're carbon fiber, whether they're painted carbon flash or visible. Either way, it's carbon fiber underneath, on constraint across the board. So you will not get any ground effects on an E-Ray if you were to order it today.
It's crazy how they offer new things and it's like, sorry, you can't have it.
Yeah, isn't it? And then the Z06, this is now the 3rd model year, going on the 4th model year for the Z06, and we still can't get the high wing or any of the ground effects in carbon flash or carbon fiber. It seems like every single allocation round, carbon fiber is on constraint, which effectively makes the Z07 package unobtainable.
Let's jump back to the comments. We might be missing some stuff. Oh, Super 8. Joe Lamb is on. Super 8.
What's up, Joe?
Slick Daddies.
Are you all brother and sister? What the heck?
Brother and sister. Wow.
Yeah, definitely not.
How about husband and wife?
Let's see. Rally Roofers, what's up? Congratulations on his most recent purchase.
What do you get?
ZR1.
Oh, congrats.
Hot Rod Todd says they may be routing all carbon fiber to the ZR1 builds. Very possible. Because, like I said, even though the rocker carbon fiber is on constraint for the ZR1, it's only on constraint for the non-aero package ZR1. I would say ZTK, but obviously we're looking at the brake system right here, right underneath it. It is the calipers, not the rotors. Like I said earlier, it is actually the calipers. So the 10-piston calipers for the ZTK system, unobtainable, which means no ZTK, but you still can get the high wing aero package, which of course, like Hot Rod Todd said, maybe they're moving all of their carbon fiber allotment to the ZR1 for this high wing option. It could be, but either way, I think it's ridiculous that we're 3 years into the Z06, still can't get carbon fiber. 6 years into the Stingray, still having problems with anything. We should not have a problem with anything on the Stingray. E-Ray, no carbon fiber for it either. And the ZR1, you can kind of get carbon fiber, just only if you get the high wing package, which I personally would not order that car without the ZTK, but if someone held a gun to my head and said I had to, I would do no ZTK, but I'd still get at least the high wing package. So it's at least in the right direction for the ZR1 as far as that's concerned. So that's good to see, I guess. I don't know. Let's see.
Aaron's on, it looks like. AARPM.
Yep.
Maybe.
I think I saw his name in there, yeah. Lego says, what do you think about the 3-stanchion wing? I actually like it. I saw one not too long ago in person, and it's a significant amount bigger than it looks on camera, or at least what I originally thought it was going to be. It's about the same, a little bit wider actually than the Z07 wing. So with 3 stanchions, there's zero chance for any kind of movement on that wing. I think I like it. It's different. I'll say that.
Professor Corvette says a drive-by by the dog, maybe at 8:02. No, he's actually sleeping under the desk here.
Yeah. Yep. Kevin says, bought the Z07 rear bumper cover to make my life easier. Just gonna have it painted. That's what I ended up doing too. I tried messing around with the whole covers. I tried 2 different ones and was gonna try a 3rd one. And I said, you know what? The actual bumper cover is only like a little over $500 from GM. I just bought a new one.
Painting it was more money than buying it.
No, it's about the same amount of money,
Was it?
but
I thought it was a little bit
it's more trouble. I'll tell you that much.
I thought the paint was $650 or something.
Let's see. Yeah, that's a great point. NBA Live says that he thinks they're hoarding the Alcon 10-piston brake calipers so that they can have them for the ZR1X, because they are standard on the ZR1X regardless of what model ZR1X you choose. So that makes perfect sense to me. Same does the hoarding the carbon fiber for the ZR1, thus making it unavailable for a Z06 and an E-Ray. That makes sense to me as well. Charles says, does ZTK make as much of a difference like the Z07? From what I understand, yes. The ZTK ride quality is the same as the Z07, and non-ZTK is the same as the non-Z07 Z06. So, yes, I would believe it does. It also gives you, of course, the Sport Cup 2R tires and the high wing aero package, as well as the 10-piston calipers. Let's see. So yeah, guys, we if you can, smash the thumbs up button for us. Let us know you're liking the content here. We got a lot to talk about with the Grand Sport coming up. So we got about 170 people watching, only 59 thumbs ups. Guys, let's get those up to 100 by 8 o'clock. So we got about 15 minutes. Smash the thumbs up. Let's get to 100 if we can. It really helps the channel out a lot. So other than the constraints, of course, these are the constraints like I was talking about for just the January 26 ordering, which just passed, I believe was Thursday, maybe Friday. It literally just passed. So what day was this actually published?
Saturday was the 31st.
This was published on the 29th. So yeah, would have been Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So either way, these are the most recent constraints. And honestly, I bet you I'd put money on the fact that next month, these are the same constraints. And the month after that, the same constraints. It seems like they just, I don't know. It seems like they don't learn. But anyway, that is the constraints for the month of January. If you guys were looking to order your car, which I know one of my subscribers is, and he was just told about the braking system, so he's not going to be able to get his ETK like he wanted to. It's rough. Glass City Car Nerd says, again, awesome video with the transmission warranties issues. I appreciate it, Jamie. It is something that Joe and I had talked about on the phone, and we kind of realized after we were about halfway into the conversation, we were like, why are we not really hearing anybody talk about this? I mean, this is a big deal for potentially buying a car that doesn't have warranty, and the majority of people getting into their first Corvette will say, let's say if they're buying a 22 or 23 used Stingray, they're not going to have any idea that that is potentially going to void their warranty the second they drive it off the lot. So yeah, it's definitely good stuff to talk about. Let's see. Yeah. ZTK equipped ZR1 is the hardcore track package. I don't know if I'd call it hardcore, but it's the equivalent of the Z07 for the Z06 car. Jay Brazelton says the trans video was great info. It's info, and someone actually commented, one of you guys commented, I don't know who it was, I can't remember now, on that video and said that unfortunately, this is great information. It's good to know. But unfortunately, unless you're putting this video out every couple days or every week, there's going to be people that don't know. And that is the unfortunate truth. If you're not constantly talking about this, people are going to buy these cars and not realize that they're not getting warranty based on the previous owner's maintenance schedules. So it is something you're going to hear me talk about from time to time in the future. Hopefully it makes it to the right people. And that's David, that's hitting the nail on the head, man. I with the ZR1, I will not pull the trigger on that car unless it is 100% every single thing I want. There's no adding stuff later or doing things later, because I found, you know, as much as you can do that if you want, I found personally, especially with a car like a ZR1, it's better to have everything right off the bat for a multitude of reasons. Number one, you don't have to mess with it. But number two, it's on the build sheet. So the ZR1, like my C7 ZR1, is a ZTK package car, and that's why it's worth so much money, is because if I had added all that stuff after the fact, it wouldn't be worth the same amount because it's not on the actual window sticker. Not that I'm chasing any kind of car values or anything, because, I mean, my ZR1 I'll keep probably forever. And even the C8 ZR1, likely probably keep it forever too. I don't typically buy cars just to sell them unless somebody offers me a stupid amount of money for it and it makes sense. But at the end of the day, that's not what I do. So I want to check a box, hit a button, and go pick up the car. That's what I want to do. Yeah, David said the same thing. He settled once, never again. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the Grand Sport, because we've talked about it a bunch on this channel. I've told you guys it's coming for 27. I told you Admiral Blue was coming, but now we have confirmation of a lot of this stuff. And it's interesting because the thumbnail that I actually used for this shows the hash marks, the typical Grand Sport-esque hash marks being on the back fenders instead of the front fenders. And it's funny because this most recent leak shows the same thing. So there's not really any sound here because the guy that filmed this had some sort of music over top of it anyway, but I am going to play this for you because it's a relatively quick clip too. It's on Instagram. And the guy that posted it is named NJP Moto. I actually shot him a message to make sure it was okay to use this, and he said, yeah. So go check out his Instagram if you haven't yet, guys. This is the car, and it's pretty quick. So here we go. So that's it. That's the car. Now that was the video. Where things got a little bit more interesting for me was when I was watching it, I was like, man, that looks like Admiral Blue. So not only are we getting confirmation of a Grand Sport with those hash marks in the back, but that looks like Admiral Blue. And then over at the Mid-Engine Corvette forum, somebody actually went through and lightened up the image. That's Admiral Blue. So 100% that is Admiral Blue with your typical red hash stripes or hash marks in the back. And then if I had to guess, there's a white stripe down this car you just can't see, because that's your typical Heritage Edition or whatever they called it, the C7 with that same. That's it. That is your Grand Sport in Admiral Blue. And somebody actually zoomed in a little bit. It's hard to tell, but they zoomed in on the wheels. Well, number one, they zoomed in on the back end to confirm it does have the same like duckbill spoiler that the Z06 does. But then they zoomed in on the wheels. And it does, in fact, look like it's going to have your typical cup wheels. So the wheels that your typical Grand Sport would have, looking something like that. So again, those wheels, that paint job, the red hash stripes, and actually if you look really closely at that image, it's kind of hard to tell with that resolution, but that really looks like it says Grand Sport right in front of that rear wheel. So guaranteed that's the Grand Sport. The fact that it's in Admiral Blue as well confirms all kinds of stuff we've been talking about recently. That's it. That's your Grand Sport. Now, what I think is funny about this is, yeah, KP says, why the hash marks on the rear fender? They're not on the drive. They're not on the front. And there have been a lot of reports talking about these hash marks likely being on the back, and here they are.
Hey, Becca.
What's up, Becca? AARPM says he wants one. Admiral is a color for 27. Absolutely. And that's going to be, this is why. This car's coming in 27, and so is Admiral Blue. And we actually talked about this last week. We said Admiral Blue and a gray are making their comeback for 27s.
Aaron sold his Corvette. Did he get another one? AARPM, he did. What did he get?
I believe he did, yeah.
Aaron, what did you get?
AARPM, I know he sent it to me. I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, it does look like it's been doing donuts or something in that parking lot. I thought that same thing. It's like, it's doing something. It does have a center exhaust, which we've seen some early on pictures showed that it probably was going to. Now, with that said, an option coming for 2027 is going to allow you to pick whether you have a center exhaust or the outboard exhaust that the Stingray currently has. You will actually have that option on the 27s.
I like this.
I don't know what 27s. I'm not sure if it's going to be all 27s, but at least some of the 27s are going to have that option. Let's see. No, red C8. That color that you're referring to was pitch. It's not likely to be a brown. It's going to be a dark, dark gray. I saw that same thing you were looking at, though, that looked like a brown. Z06 Hot Rod Todd, if they follow suit with what they did with the C7 Corvette, they offered the C7 Grand Sport in a Z07 package. I know that sounds weird, but they offered a Z07 package for the C7 Grand Sport, which gave it carbon ceramic rotors and all the aero of the Z06. They could potentially do something similar here with this Grand Sport. We're already seeing the same rear duckbill spoiler as the Z06 gets, so it's not a stretch. Like we said in the, I put out a video months ago saying this was going to be a wide body car with the same setup as the Z06 on the sides and the back. The front bumper is going to be the same with the center part blocked out with a license plate cover similar to the Stingray, just because there is no center radiator there. We can't see that in this picture, of course, but you can see everything else that we've talked about. The side intakes are the same. Pretty much wide body car with that new 6.7 liter engine powering it. definitely coming in 27, but it's also coming a lot sooner than anybody. Well, actually, we talked about this again, maybe a month ago. We were talking about how we expected to see this pretty soon. And even Rick Conti said he expected to see it possibly sometime in January, but we're obviously past January at this point. But the point of that is it's coming soon. We're going to get announcement of this car. If I had to guess, it's going to be before April. We're going to hear that this car is in existence. And odds are good we're going to see it at the Bash, because they're going to be showing the new colors at the Bash. They can't exactly show Admiral Blue without it being on a Grand Sport. I bet you we're probably less than a month away from seeing this thing. Because at this point, GM can't exactly drag their feet now. You've seen it in person. And you can kind of tell in that picture as well, the interior looks like it's also red. So Admiral Blue, red interior, red hash stripes. I bet you it's got a white stripe on the hood. That's your Grand Sport for 27. That's probably true. 10 Second Z06 says they probably left the center exhaust for the Z06 and ZR1. That probably, I'm not sure if you're probably not able to change those ones. I don't know, actually. I really don't. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but I know for 27, you're going to have the option on at least some of the models to have center exhaust or the side exit ones. VA behind, there's definitely a white stripe on it. There's no way that's the heritage color scheme across the board, which we've already seen leaks for in the GM parts catalog. Heritage edition is going to exist, and that's what that is. The intakes are not super easy to see, but I can tell on a full resolution photo, which let me see if I can pull that one up. I can tell on my computer based on the screen, the brightness of the screen, I can tell that's the typical Z06 intake. With, again, very cup style wheels. So, I mean, honestly, none of this is really a surprise. This is exactly what I expected this car to look like. And I just think it's interesting that we're finally getting confirmation of it by actually having people see it. So, if you guys are liking it so far, guys, please smash that thumbs up button. Let me know you're liking the content. And it helps the channel. So, hit thumbs up. It would be nice to get to 100 by 8 o'clock. We're at 83 currently. We've got 3 more minutes for 17 more thumbs ups. Let's make it happen, guys. Smash those thumbs up. Scruffy, this is a great question. And honestly, I don't have an answer for this. And the question is, what is the selling point of a Grand Sport? I understand Z06, ZR1, ZR1X, but not understanding E-Ray or Grand Sport. I get the E-Ray. I don't understand the Grand Sport. I never have. The Grand Sport has never really made sense to me. It's basically a wide body Stingray is ultimately what it comes down to. I've never really understood it, but it does seem to sell. So I guess it takes a certain person to understand. I'm not 100% sure. Very well could be a white Grand Sport behind the Admiral Blue one. I can't tell if that's a Grand Sport wheel or possibly a Stingray wheel, but either way, there is another car back there. This was kind of a random drive-by video, but yeah. So for those of you out there who are interested in a Grand Sport, tell me why. What interests you about a Grand Sport that could not be fulfilled with a Z06 or an E-Ray? So Hot Rod Todd, that's only partially true. He says some people want the look without the extra power or expense. You're going to spend more than a Stingray. So why not just get a Stingray? Joey Cuts, 3,400, is now part of the horsepower membership. I appreciate it, Joey. I'm not interested either, Brad, and I've never been. The Grand Sport has never been my thing. The selling point or the price point of this car could be a selling point. It's likely to be priced between, of course, the Stingray and the E-Ray, but why does that make it more attractive? So let's say I'm thinking it starts at 85 to 90, which puts it roughly 20 grand under an E-Ray and roughly 20 grand above a Stingray. Why spend the extra 20 grand versus just getting a Stingray? Aaron says he thinks the appeal of the Grand Sport is a very capable track car, power suited for driving on domestic roads. The wide body look, I understand, but the rest of that, I don't think I completely agree with. I think you can get all of that from a Stingray. The only part you don't get is the wide body look. So is the wide body look worth the extra 20 grand? Is that ultimately what we're chasing here? Is just and I totally agree. Z06 Hot Rod Todd says the wide body looks way better. 100%. It's massively better looking. But is that the only reason you're just getting you're going with that extra wide body?
Professor has did you see that? Go up a little bit right there. New Grand Sport or 3-year-old Z06, same price.
And that's the sad reality is in that situation, why wouldn't you take the Z06? Now, again, I'll admit 100%, this is very biased. I'm obviously a Z06 guy. So don't read this question as anything but 100% biased. I'm just curious what you guys' thought process is. We did get 100 thumbs ups, guys. We got 200 people watching. Let's keep going with the thumbs ups. So where was that question I just saw? There is too many models. Honestly, with the E-Ray at one point potentially replacing the Grand Sport, that made it okay. But now that we're getting both, it just seems weird. So Robert Brunn says, think of the Grand Sport as a more track-ready Stingray, but that's what the Z51 is. So the only thing, and I saw somebody bring it up here. Yeah, KP. Does the Grand Sport have the Z06 suspension? That's to be seen. It has in the past. And if that's the case, then it starts to make a little bit more sense to me. Because now you'll have the wide body look and the suspension of the Z06. And potentially, if they offer the Z07 package for the Grand Sport the way they have in the past, you could also potentially have the Z07 Aero package ready to go too. Then this makes a little bit more sense. And when I say a little bit, I really only mean a little bit because you're not that far away. Just like Professor Corvette said, you're not that far off from just buying a Z06. If you really want a track car, that's the car to get anyway. I still don't fully understand this. And again, I understand I'm fully biased here. I get it, but I'm just trying to put everything in perspective because the E-Ray makes sense. I think it was overpriced, but it makes sense. The car makes sense where it's at. The Z06 makes sense. The ZR1, the ZR1X, all these make sense. I don't think the Grand Sport makes sense in the C8 lineup if the E-Ray exists there too. Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, Darren, and kind of everybody else has said something similar, but that doesn't really make sense. I mean, I get it, but it doesn't make sense if that makes sense. I'm playing devil's advocate here. It just doesn't really make sense if the E-Ray exists. And the E-Ray's already in there, so why have this? And actually, Amber, whenever I first showed her the Admiral Blue on the C8 Z06 coming in, what did you say about it?
I don't remember.
What do you think of that color?
I don't know. I don't really care for it, but
That's where I'm at too. I think Admiral Blue was one of the worst blues. I think that's an awful blue. I get it. Again, I get that it's heritage. I get that it's like the typical Grand Sport thing, but I think it's awful. Like
they should have never got rid of the Seawolf. I think that's a really nice color.
Seawolf Gray was good. Admiral Riptide Blue was light years better than Admiral Blue. Elkhart Lake Blue was better than Admiral Blue. Laguna Blue was better.
How long has it been since Admiral has been gone and then came back?
Admiral
was it on the C7?
Yeah, C7. It was on a C7 Grand Sport.
What was the one that JT had? Laguna.
That was Laguna. And Laguna is a beautiful blue. But Riptide looks more like Laguna than anything, and Riptide's a great color. But yeah, Admiral is not a good blue. And I get it. It's heritage. I get all that. But a lot of this stuff, it's like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Chili Pepper says nobody will buy the Stingray once the Grand Sport comes out. Just trading Stingray volume for Grand Sport. That's a good possibility. See, that is possibly the answer so far that makes the most sense. If for some reason, if they make the Grand Sport and it sells really, really well to the point where they don't even need to make a Stingray anymore, then all of a sudden, all of this makes sense. And I could see that happening, but at the same time, it's 20 grand more for essentially the same car. I don't know. Yeah. Lukey Walsh says, buy a Stingray, subtract Stingray price from Grand Sport price, spend the difference on modifying the new Stingray, and you're going to have a better car. That's simple. You put 20 grand into a Stingray, you're going to have a much better car, performance track oriented, than if you just bought a Grand Sport. This is kind of my point, is it doesn't really make sense. 10 Seconds Z06 says, I agree, Justin. Admiral Blue is not the best blue. It's really not. It's not an overly attractive blue. And yeah, that was the other one. Johnny Valentino says he has Jetstream blue on a C6. That's another really, really good color. Jetstream was very similar to Laguna, very similar to Riptide. Those are great blues. Yeah, V8 Behind says, I had Laguna. Now I have Riptide. They were really close. More metallic and Riptide. Yeah, they are really close colors. Really nice blue. And yeah, Kevin says, can they flood the market anymore? Honest, like we talked about this a long time ago, that if they made a Grand Sport, that it was just going to start to water down the brand. And while that is true, it is also nice to have options, I guess, because there is still pretty likely a Zora model coming. And if that comes too, then I mean, you got the Stingray, the Grand Sport, the E-Ray, the Z06, the ZR1, the ZR1X, and the Zora. That's 8 models.
It's overwhelming. Becca said it best, Admiral is boring.
It's typical GM safe. It's a safe blue. And honestly, Admiral is why they got rid of Hysteria. I guarantee it. Because Admiral is a darker blue. Hysteria in most light looked darker blue. So they didn't want 2 colors that were too similar.
What makes them bring back a retired color? Was it just not selling on the C7 anymore and they took it out? And now they're like, okay, maybe we'll do better on the C8?
Pretty much. I mean, I think with this especially, this is the way they wanted to re-announce the Grand Sport, was with the typical Admiral Blue.
So is there odds that you think maybe the Seawolf will come back at some point? Or is that a gone color?
It might come back eventually, but...
what was that, 2 years, right? 24 and 25 they had that.
Yeah, it won't be anytime soon if they brought it back.
What's Seawolf saying? There's a new gray for 2027?
Yeah, that we don't know.
It's not Blade.
We don't know what it is yet.
Oh, we don't know what it is yet. Is there a chance that it could be Seawolf coming back?
No.
No, it's a new
It's
gray.
likely to be a really dark gray. I actually speculated that it could be the same gray that we saw on that car at the auction.
Barrett.
At the Barrett-Jackson auction, only not matte finish. And I would be okay with that.
Metallic
because
would be nice.
Because that would be fine with me. I would say if they bring back that, or if they bring that color in and they make it a gloss color, that still leaves that one at Barrett-Jackson a 1-of-1 color, because it's a matte finish. And if you really wanted to take it and make it the same way, you could just put stealth PPF on it, take it to blackout tinting, have them stealth PPF that thing, and now you got the same car.
So would you forgo the black for that gray if that is an option?
Yeah, that dark gray is really nice. Somebody said...
Oh,
that's a great point. V8 Behind says Grand Sport is the filler car to get the C8 platform to 2030. Maybe it is.
so red C8 Z06 Admiral Blue was with red interior was popular in 96.
Yep, 96, and it was also popular in
So
the
20 years ago.
No, in the C7 generation
more
did the
than
same
that.
thing. That Admiral Blue,
30
white
years
stripe,
ago.
red hash marks, red interior. That's like the package for Grand Sport. Where was the... Ricky, I love that. Just because it's old or heritage or classic doesn't mean it was good. The ET video game was well known, but it was a giant pile of crap. You're 100% accurate, but I don't want to offend anybody because I'm sure there's somebody out there who is super into the heritage Grand Sport stuff. I'll tell you this, it was never for me, and it will continue to not be for me. but that doesn't mean that I don't think it should be an option. Everybody should have a chance at getting what they want, but at the same time, it's not for me. I would choose the Z06 over the Grand Sport every day, any day, every day. I mean, I'll put it to you this way. You guys know how I feel about the E-Ray. I would take the E-Ray over the Grand Sport.
So what's the difference in cost between the E-Ray, the Grand Sport, and the Z06?
The Grand Sport's going to be about 20 grand less than the E-Ray. The E-Ray right now is these are starting prices. Yeah. The E-Ray starts currently at like maybe 10, 12 less than the Z06. I'd have to pull up the exact prices. Kevin says, have you noticed that the news of the Grand Sport has killed the E-Ray? I'll be the first one to say it. To be honest, Kevin, the E-Ray has not had great sales. It's not great sales. There's not great advertisement behind it. There's not even really strong YouTube channels that talk about it. It wasn't as anywhere near as popular as they wanted it to be.
I don't see any of them driving around here. I see more Stingrays.
I've never seen an E-Ray.
Z06s.
I've never seen an E-Ray in my area here.
But when you went to get the Z06 out of the dealership, there was a white E-Ray sitting there.
Yeah, and I bet you if I had checked now, I bet you it's still there. It wasn't marketed properly, and for the price point, the price is what killed that car. And I know a lot of people disagree with me on this because the video I put out, the E-Ray is a great car. It should have been $10,000 to $15,000 less than it was. If they had priced it right, it would have sold a lot better. But they may have priced it knowing that they were going to bring the Grand Sport out that was going to fill the gap between the Stingray and the E-Ray. So that's very possible too.
Professor Correct, it has been erased. Hasn't been erased.
Yeah, the new color is pitch metallic, but we don't know exactly what it's going to be yet. It's likely to be a gray, but we don't know what shade or anything. That's
what it's called, pitch metallic.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. That doesn't reveal
well,
much.
That's just the internal name. It could be different when we get it, but it could. I'm thinking it's going to be the same gray as the one we saw at Barrett Jackson, just not a matte finish, and I'd be okay with that. That was an awesome color.
So you would get that over the black.
Yeah.
So are you saying that you're opening your options now to colors other than black?
I've always been open other than black.
Yeah, but everything you buy is pretty much.
It's got to be a good color.
I guess I can't say much either. I usually go for the black cars too.
Yeah, Bella says they're building more ZR1s than E-Rays. That's true. And it's because there's not really a demand for the E-Ray. Again, they did a really bad job at marketing that car. E-Ray was bad price, bad marketing, bad value. I didn't say it, but that's pretty much what I feel. I don't think it's a bad car. I just think it was priced wrong and they didn't market it well. I don't think it's going to be an iron block. That's not what I've heard, but that would be interesting. Racers will take a Grand Sport because it's an iron block, if I'm not mistaken. I doubt it's an iron block, but if it was, then all of a sudden this makes sense. I doubt it's going to be an iron block though. That would put way too much weight in the rear end. Guys, we got again almost 200 people watching. Let's smash the thumbs up buttons if you're liking the content so far. We're talking currently about the Grand Sport and its unexpected reveal, I guess, because somebody got some pictures of it driving by with no camo on, very clearly showing Admiral Blue with the red Heritage race stripes and probably a white stripe on the front with the cup wheels. I mean, everything about this thing screams Grand Sport. So we're now pretty much confirmed that's the car we're going to be getting here very soon. And I mean, it's not anything surprising to me, but if you guys were wondering, it is now confirmed in pictures.
Becca just said that they haven't had any E-Rays in the shop.
There was an E-Ray at Gibsonia last year, I think it was, but there's been very few.
Has there been any in Florida? E-Rays?
Yeah, we have one down there now, actually.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly what I said. In my video review of driving an E-Ray, if you make it start at 80 to 85, it will, not only will it sell, it will outsell all of the rest of your models because it has the wide body, it has the performance. The Z06 now looks unobtainable at 112 or whatever it starts at now. The ZR1 being 230, unobtainable, just get the E-Ray. It makes way more sense at that price point, which is why I'm guessing they didn't do that. Because whenever I did my review on it, I flat out said this car is $10,000 to $15,000 too expensive. And at that point, that car was starting, I believe, at 100, exactly 100 or 102. So you knock 15 grand off that, you're at about 85. That's a perfect price point for it.
So that shark gray was a really, really pretty color.
That's what Dana's car is.
Dave, I know. That's really nice color. Ricky said he's going to be coming to Carlisle, looks like this year.
Where's that at?
Right there.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Definitely make sure you come by the booth, Ricky. I want to meet you for sure.
Is this his first time too, Corvettes at Carlisle?
I think so.
Yeah. Where are you from, Ricky?
I think he's Michigan.
How about Celica's Becca? That's a loaded question, Jamie.
I saw your Celica up there the other day.
Is that who we saw? Well, that was his? That
Yeah,
Jamie's?
the one in the front. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see.
Jamie's a funny guy.
Oh, there we go. DBM Racing says he sprayed a sample at the shop of Pitch, the new gray, and it's between Cyber Gray and Shark Gray. Those are literally two of the nicest grays that you can get on a Corvette. So there you go. Somebody in here said that it was a brown. It's definitely not a brown, and there we go. Confirmation that it is going to be a gray, and you're taking two of the nicest grays and putting it somewhere in between there. I'm good with that.
What's Cyber Gray look like?
That was a C6 color. I'll show you later, but it's a good color. Cyber Gray was a little darker than Shark Gray, so that might actually put even more emphasis on the fact that it is going to be that color that we saw at the Barrett Jackson, just without the matte finish.
What was that year that they had carbon flash, metallic, and black, which those were super close in color?
That was 24.
Okay. So, I mean, it is possible that they can get two colors that are fairly close.
Oh, yeah. Ricky says it's his first time and he's from Boston.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, David, if you do, I want to see a picture of that. That would be awesome. Hopefully a gray without any green in it. You're my
or blue.
You are me reincarnated, it sounds like, because that's exactly what I said. Gray, no green, no blue. I just want a gray. Don't give me undertones of green or undertones of blue, just gray. And as Cyber Gray was like that, it was just gray, and I loved that. Oh, actually, Aaron says it had a purpley tone that he didn't care for. I'll have to reinvestigate. It's been a while since I've seen gray, Cyber Gray, so I might be misremembering.
Professor's taking his dibs on the name of the gray too. Do you see Anatomy's Gray? He's trying to be funny. That was a TV show.
Gray's Anatomy,
yeah.
But yeah. Blizzard Gray. That'd be interesting. Let's see. What else we got here? So other than the Grand Sport stuff, which again, guys, we got 216 people watching, only 117 thumbs up. That's literally 100 different. Guys, please, if you're watching, smash the thumbs up. It helps the channel a lot. And it's free. Why wouldn't you want to do it? It's free and it makes everybody feel good. So thumbs up. Yeah, we definitely need to see a video or some pictures of those sprays. I think that would be pretty awesome to see. Watkins Glen was good too. There was something about that color that I never loved. It might have been because I really liked Shark Gray, so Watkins Glen was kind of disappointing, but it was a darker gray. And
Light silver looks good, stealth wrapped. That's the ZR1 you guys had down in Florida.
Ricky says there was another gray metallic on the C8. It was shadow gray, and it was also...
That's what Doug had.
That's what Doug had. It was also a nice gray. Shadow gray was good too. 100%, the Z06 is likely to still be the loudest, only because of how high it revs. It's always going to scream louder than the rest of those engines.
I prefer the red mist over the torch red that you had. I like Bill Miller's.
I would take torch red over red mist.
I like red mist.
I think red mist is a good color, but it's, again, one of those colors I can admire, but it's not for me. Kind of news also, guys. The C8 Corvette transmission is no longer going to be built in Canada. The DCT that's in the car now was built in Canada, but it looks like it's being moved to the States now. And there's not really a good reason given outside of tariffs. So it might be cheaper for us to finally build it here, which I guess is kind of the point. But either way, it's not going to be built in Canada anymore. It's going to be built here in the US. Not huge news. Nothing really will change too much there, but just so you're in the know, it's going to be built here. Snow cone. What's the expected MSRP of the Grand Sport? 90K-ish? I'm thinking between 85 and 90. That will put it smack dead in the middle of the Stingray and the E-Ray. And it will be like 20 grand under an E-Ray, 20 grand above a Stingray. So I think right around 85 to 90 is probably where it will start.
Go up. Rally Roofers has a 19 ZR1 too.
Yeah. We met him at Carlisle.
Okay. Oh, I know who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I know who he is.
Yeah, it was Shadow Gray, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say that's...
Isn't that... No, his is... what's that Burgundy Doug's?
Yeah.
ZR1 is Burgundy. Is it Red Mist?
No.
No?
That's Shadow or Long Beach Red.
That's right, Dan. I do too.
Great. You guys, you should form a club. Form a club that's called I Like Red Mist Better. I think it's, I actually find it to be interesting how many people don't like Torch Red. And meanwhile, it's like, that's like iconic. Although I guess we were just talking about, we were just talking about why iconic doesn't necessarily mean good. So yeah, I don't want to.
Everybody has different taste.
Yeah, you'll save on the tariffs by building it here in the States. That's pretty much what it was.
Becca said she's gonna.
Aaron, the sad part is you are so probably right. It's not even funny because whenever I was literally on a live Monday night, and this was obviously a couple years ago, talking about where I thought they were going to price the E-Ray, and I said 85 to 90 because that's where it made sense. And as I was saying it, right as I signed off that live, I looked at my phone and I had one of my inside sources had texted me and said, "Hey, the starting price point of the E-Ray is this." And I was like, crap, I missed it. And it was, I think it was 100 or 102. And I was like, wow, did they miss the mark on that? That's 10 to 15 grand too expensive. And that's where we're at. Let's see. They'll probably mistakenly name it the E Grand Sport, even though it has no electric motor. If you want to kill a car, put an E in front of it. I mean, it's seriously, that literally is what it looks like. You name that the E-Ray. If you name that thing anything else, it probably would have sold better. But that E makes everybody think that it's fully electric. Torch Red is too common a red, with all due respect. It's fine, Dan. I thought we were friends, but it's fine.
Would you ever buy a Torch Red car?
No.
Yeah.
I was big on red cars. I had, I think...
A lot.
I think it was 24 of my cars were red.
Yeah, it was insane. Your trucks were red up until the TR... Oh, no, you had the black Colorado. But your trucks were even red. You were in a red phase when I first met you.
I still like red.
Everything was red.
I still like red, but things evolve. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, I did want to talk about this real quick, guys. So I will post it in the chat here, the link. But if you guys want to try to win this National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum Z06 is going off in 8 days.
7 days.
7 days. That's what I said. It's a Z06 2025 convertible, all the good stuff. You could potentially win it, and you get 5 extra entries for clicking the link that is in the chat. And it's also in the description of this video if you're watching it after the fact. Click on that link. Take your chances at winning this thing. It ends in 7 days, guys.
Didn't you have a subscriber that did this?
Yes.
And he won,
$2,000.
$2,000.
He entered with...
We met him.
Yeah.
At Corvettes at Carlisle.
He was at the bash this past year, too. Yeah. I made a video of it.
Oh, did you? I wasn't there.
He took $2,000, entered them all in here, and he won. So these things are legit. Coming from the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, you know it's legit. This is a legit company. So 7 days left, guys. All this talk about the Grand Sport, why take your chances? Just win this thing and don't even worry about a Grand Sport.
That's a convertible.
Yeah. And tell me if you won this, if you'd still want a Grand Sport. That's the thing. No, see, that's the thing, is that the rear hash marks there are Jake logos. They're not Grand Sport stuff. Jay Brazelton says he already entered. Very nice.
Good luck.
I was going to say Jay wins everything anyway, so he might win this.
Yeah.
Very good chance. So we'll see Jay driving around 2 different Z06s.
What color is his other Z06? The other one he has?
He had a white one, but he just got a red mist.
Okay. Yeah, red mist.
Two-tone interior. It's not. This is a nice spec. And I mean, honestly, you get 5 extra entries for clicking on that link. Again, guys, link in the chat. And it will also be in the description. Make sure you get entered to this. It's not a bad idea to grab it. Even if you don't want a Z06, for that price, if you could win one, take it and sell it and go buy your Grand Sports.
He says, Professor says that all Corvettes are red.
Aaron says,
red mist.
No, if I won this, I'd sell it and order my Z06. Hey, you could do that too. However you want to do it, man. And you could also win a bunch of extra entries if you do it. So
I would say no.
Click on that link, guys. Again, right there's the link. 212 people watching, 134 thumbs ups. Guys, let's smash the thumbs up.
Hot Rod Todd, I was going to change my name to Jaden Enter.
Yeah.
Jay, you're just like a lucky guy. So when you're going to come to PA, we can go to the casino.
Those vinyls actually come off pretty clean, Brad, believe it or not. So I've had those on and off the cars because typically we take them off when we PPF the cars. But yeah, so check it out, guys. Like I said, if you get entered, you get extra entries by using the link that I pasted in the chat, and I'll paste it one more time just because. If you want to click on that, get extra entries, and there's only 7 days left to win this, so you might as well take your shot at it. I got a couple of my friends to look at it and enter just because it's 25 bucks. Worst case scenario, it goes to a good cause. Yeah, guys. DBM Racing says, let's smash that thumbs up button. And I do actually want to talk about, let me see what else we had here. There was, let's see if I can find this real quick. Aw, he didn't put it on here. David not putting his video on YouTube or on Instagram. I wanted to show a video of something David had happen here. Yeah, it does. It helps out the channel. Thumbs up. Look, David's helping me out. I'm going to help him out. I'm going to show a video of his on my live video here. Yep, there it is. So, just so you guys know. Let me see if I can get the sound working here. Okay. All right, so check this out. David was driving, apparently, taking his car out for a drive, and Georgia, being as cold as it is, almost as cold as Pennsylvania, he hit a little bit of ice. So check this video out. He just posted up. He posted up his shorts here.
Okay, we're going to give it the sauce here somewhere. Come in, make sure we don't have any.
Nope, this is the wrong one. Ah, this is the right one. Here we go. I know it's not funny, but luckily David knows how to fix himself, because that could have been a lot worse.
What's he in his?
That's exactly it. Ricky says Code Brown. Let's watch it again. Yeah, this is his C6 Z06. Oof, that could have been so bad. Yeah.
He was only going 40 miles an hour, so it shouldn't have been too bad.
Code Brown. It's rough, but like I said,
David bought new underwear.
He corrected himself.
Huh.
Yep. That's why that's 100% why you need to know how to drive cars, because you never know when something like that happens. And I mean, living in Georgia, you wouldn't expect that there's a whole lot of ice sitting around on the roads, but apparently there's enough. Let's see. We got 214 people watching, 138 thumbs ups. Guys, smash the thumbs up for us. Let's try to get to 200. We're about done here, but let's smash the thumbs ups. Again, I'm going to throw this up here just for those of you just joining. The C8 Corvette Grand Sport has been spotted without camo in Admiral Blue with the hash stripes, typical heritage stuff. So we're definitely going to be seeing the Grand Sport announcement official from GM here pretty soon, if I had to guess, within a month. So.
Hey, Charles.
Yep. Samaha is how you pronounce that, apparently. Yeah. Z06 Hot Rod Todd says C6s slide fine. Don't do that in a C7 though. See, even the C7, I've got pretty good control of my C7. I'm more scared of the C8 because the car doesn't seem to let you slide. It's not that it won't, but it's like it doesn't want to. So in my C7, my ZR1, if I smash the gas going around a turn, I know that rear end's coming out and I know how to correct it. On a C8, it doesn't come out like you would expect it to. It's kind of odd.
Maybe I can get it to do that.
DBM Racing says Georgia had ice all around. That's pretty crazy. That's why mine's in storage right now. Mine's in the garage. I had it out not too long ago, but you take it out now, you're going to be covered in salt when you get back.
Doing donuts in the driveway.
Kerry Glock says some of the 25 Z06s are almost 20K discounted. I got mine for 20K under in July. And at that time, that was like unheard of. But you can get some good deals on these cars. And these cars are fantastic. Fantastic values for that price. If you're getting them for 20K or more under MSRP, that is a fantastic deal. Yeah, there is a center exhaust on the Grand Sport picture here. Center exhaust, same air intakes on the side as the Z06. Based on what I've been told from an inside source, is the front bumper is the same as the Z06 as well, only the center grille is a solid piece of plastic for your license plate like the Stingray has in the center, because there's no radiator there. So that should be pretty much it. Otherwise, you're going to get exactly what's shown here. The Admiral Blue is one of the colors coming for 27, and the other one is a gray that we don't exactly know the name of yet, but David has seen it and says it's a combination of cyber gray and shark gray. So going to be a little bit of a darker gray, but should be pretty nice. Yeah, so the big thing to remember with this, a lot of these discounts, Ricky said he saw 20K off plus 4K loyalty somewhere. A lot of these that I've seen do not apply to Z07 package cars. So if you're looking for a Z06, the Z07 is either excluded or they don't have any Z07s on the lot. Big surprise that they wouldn't, considering we're 3 years into the model of the Z06 and they still can't make the freaking Z07 package carbon fiber. So yeah. Admiral Pooh. I'm going to create a new hate club here, because I know a lot of you guys think I hate an E-Ray when I don't, but I definitely am not a fan of Admiral Blue. I'll put that out there. It's not my favorite thing. That's not me telling you you shouldn't get it, or me telling you that if you do like it, that your opinion is wrong. I'm just saying my opinion, don't like it. Sean says, is there going to be a center exit on the Stingray with the new engine? From what I've heard, the option of choosing where your exhaust exits is coming for 2027. So there is a good chance you could select a center exit exhaust for your Stingray in 27. It makes sense because they already, the rear diffuser for the Z06 that has the center exit exhaust is the same diffuser. It will fit directly onto a Stingray. So it makes sense that you may see a Stingray with a center exit exhaust, and it's going to be super easy for GM to just flip-flop them, basically. Yeah, I was wondering what that was too, but I assumed it was a battery charger or something. Yep. Jay's doing the test, the emergency test, emergency emoji broadcast system. What blue is that color in Amber's glasses? No, I have no idea what that's even reflecting.
Kate Spade?
No, he's talking about the reflection. That's more like a Laguna blue.
Am I blue?
I don't know. It's reflecting.
What I see. Blue. It's on the side.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that's another thing. The groundhog says 6 more, not months, weeks. But good God, I mean, it does feel like it's going to be months. 6 more weeks of winter. Computer screen blue. Nice. That's going to be GM's next blue for the C8. Computer screen blue. Guys, smash the thumbs up button. 212 versus 142. Those should easily match. Smash the thumbs up. Let us know you're liking it. It helps out a lot. Plus, then Amber will know that you appreciated her jumping on here tonight. So, Amber, after hearing all this conversation, what do you think of the Grand Sport?
That's another car I really don't see around here. Even C7s. It's either you see base or you see high end. I don't usually see any in between. I don't know. I always go off of your advice and your knowledge. So I mean, if I had the money to buy it, I probably would get a CS6. But
that's where I would be
that's
too.
only because of the stuff that you tell me
about. In my opinion, currently. And actually, this is the case for all generations. The Z06 is always the best bang for the buck. You get the most car for the lowest price with the Z06 in every generation. Can you go bigger? Yeah, you can get the ZR1. You can go crazy, but you're going to spend a lot more money for a car that is fast, but maybe not as good in other ways. What? This?
Our groundhog says we're getting an early spring.
Really?
Wish we were.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll take that groundhog. Mountain Dew green, new GM color. That'd be cool. Actually, that would be an interesting color, green. That's more like what people wanted instead of Roswell. They wanted more like a lizard green or Verde Ithaca. The green on the Huracans was nice. The green on the Porsche is nice. The purple on the Huracans was nice. I don't understand why GM doesn't copy that stuff.
Thanks, Bill. It's the first time I put makeup on in probably 3 weeks. I almost forgot how to do it. See, these blue, if you turn that light off, do these still look blue? I think
it's the computer screen.
I was going to say because I think it's the
it's the screen.
Yeah, I know, but there's something on these.
Yeah, blue light filter.
Yeah, blue light filter. That's what it is.
Bill says I need to start a GoFundMe for a bigger garage. Let's start one. I need a GoFundMe for a ZR1 first. Black Knight. Sir Justin, I know you said you were going back to Ron Fellows Performance Driving School again. Do you think they will offer a Grand Sport course after the release? Yeah, absolutely they will. I do have another trip to Ron Fellows eventually here because I got another one for free with the purchase of my Z06. So I'll be going back eventually. I'll let you guys know when that is. Maybe we can all a couple of us can go together at least.
You have to go before July, right?
By July, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, anytime you purchase a new C8, they give you at least a discount off the trip. So the Grand Sport would be the same thing. You'll get a discount off of the trip to Ron Fellows. Turtle says the guy who took the video of the Grand Sport should have made a U-turn and went in that parking lot. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Because to be honest, if you turned in there, you're going to get met with a bunch of this kind of stuff. Like they don't really want you doing that kind of thing. So I don't know. Maybe you should have, but at the same time, I don't know that I would have either. Jolly Rancher Sour Apple Green. Yeah, I mean that is more of a supercar green than the Roswell green we got.
So Roswell green is gone, right?
No.
No, it's still there.
Yep. Cameron says going in April, looking forward to it.
April's the bash for you, so you really can't do much in April, I guess.
Yeah, they were doing something there in the parking lot. It looks like potentially the one beside it, like someone else pointed out, that it might have been a white Grand Sport beside the Admiral Blue one, or a Stingray or something else they were testing with it. I don't know. They may have actually been filming the release of the Grand Sport. So keep in mind, like the Z06, when they did the release trailer of the Z06, a lot of that was filmed right here in Pittsburgh. A lot of it was filmed at Pit Race. So it's very possible that this Grand Sport was out driving canyon roads or something, and they were filming something for the release trailer, which, like I said, could literally be tomorrow.
Did you see that? Professor's going 4.9 and 4.10 to Ron Fellows.
Oh, wow. All right.
When is the bash this year?
I'll have to see if that class is full. That might be a good time to do it then. I'll check in on that, Professor.
Jay Brazelton also said he was in. I think I saw his.
The problem is I think only 6 of us can go at the same time, so it's gonna be tight to get everybody there. But yeah.
Can you just go to Ron Fellows to watch and not drive?
Yeah, if you went with me, you would watch.
No, just anybody can, like, say Dan or Bill Miller wants to go to Ron Fellows and just watch you drive.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, they were doing a promo or probably a release video, if I had to guess. That's why that thing's out of wrap. It should have been still camo wrapped. Since it wasn't, they're obviously doing something that it can't be wrapped up before, which would probably be the reveal video.
Rally Roofer's got a ZR1X allocation.
No, it's just ZR1.
No, he says right there.
Oh. I should have the ZR1 coming in. Oh. See, the X doesn't interest me. If it were me, I'd keep that ZR1 and sell the X. I shouldn't say it doesn't interest me. I think the performance of that thing is absolutely crazy and undeniable, but I personally would prefer the ZR1.
Oh, the bash is 423 to
there you go.
425.
Joe Lamb says, yes, you can just go and watch. I've heard that if I at least book before my 1-year anniversary of purchase, they will honor it. Okay, good. Good to know.
Where's Nelson Ledges?
I know I've heard that before too, but I don't actually know where that's at.
Becca, where's Nelson Ledges?
Watch for free. Ouch. Yeah, it would be almost impossible to just watch. Oh, the allocation is available to buy. Okay. Ricky, that's a great question. He says, if it was a mechanical all-wheel drive instead of hybrid, would that interest you more? I do think it would. A little bit. Because at the end of the day, I'm not really a big fan of all-wheel drive sports cars. Not that they're not good. I just feel like I can't have as much fun in an all-wheel drive high-performance car as you can a rear-wheel drive. Now, all-wheel drive obviously is going to get you better launch times, better everything pretty much. But I like the ability to kick the rear wheels out if I want to. I like having the control over the car of rear-wheel drive. But with that said, I would have more interest in an all-wheel drive version of this car if it was mechanical. The hybrid part of it is the part that scares me the most, because those are not going to last forever. Regardless of what anybody that owns one or anything like that will tell you, it's not going to last forever. And around the same time it dies is just about the same time that GM is not obligated to carry parts for that car anymore. So let's say you keep an E-Ray for 20 years. After 10 years, that battery starts to not hold a charge, potentially stops working completely. GM does not have to keep parts for that car past 10 years of the last version made. So you might not even ever be able to fix it. Then you're just throwing around an extra couple 100 pounds in the front end of that car for no real reason. That's what scares me. So mechanically, you don't have to worry about all that. But at the same time, I still like rear-wheel drive better. Line lock would be phenomenally awesome. And based on the ZR1X reveal or the time trailer we just got recently, it looks like they have something like that. It's either that they're going to put that in the car or they only had it because that was like their version of the car so they can tune it to do whatever they want. They definitely had line lock on at that car to do a burnout at the very end of that video. Line lock literally locks the front calipers to literally hold your front wheels in place so your rear wheels can spin. Transmission brake, I don't actually know what that is. I don't know off the top of my head exactly how that functions, I should say. So line lock would be a lot easier. Exactly. Z06 Hot Rod Todd would be a lot easier with the front hybrid motor because all you got to do is lock the hybrid motor. Either the motor or the brakes really would stop those wheels from moving so you could then spin the rear wheels. Yeah, and that Wheeler O'Hara says, can only imagine a full battery replacement cost outside of warranty. It's going to be expensive for sure. It was definitely locking. There's no way it wasn't. Because, I mean, it's an all-wheel drive car, and they were doing a burnout, and only the back wheels were spinning. There's no way to have that happen unless the front ones were locked. Where are we at? So 190 people watching, 146 thumbs up. Guys, smash the thumbs up if you can. Today's X, yesterday's. That's kind of true, Darren. I get the correlation, but you can refill the nitrous bottle. You can't really do much with the battery once it's dead. Like once it's not able to hold a charge anymore. You can always replace the bottles. Replacing the battery is going to be a lot more difficult. Maybe someday they'll take triple or double A's. Yeah. There you go. Red C8 Z06 knows exactly how trans brake works, and that is significantly different than a line lock. So line lock is a lot easier to implement than a trans brake. Line lock is definitely the way to do it, and that's very likely how GM was doing it. They were either locking the front brakes or locking the front motor, the front wheel motor. That
Chopper's
way.
in. What's up, Chopper?
Yeah, Ricky, and that would be the way to do it. If you're not going to keep it past 8 years, and this is exactly why whenever the E-Ray was first announced, I said, just like previous generations, the C8 Z06 will go down in history as the best bang for the buck, and it will be that car that everybody clamors after in 20 to 30 years. They're going to want that C8 Z06. No one's really going to talk about the C8 E-Ray for that exact reason. By then, nobody's going to want it. It's going to have a potentially dead battery or something that needs fixed that you can't get parts for anymore. Whereas the Z06 is all engine, no forced induction, none of that stuff. So it'd be easier to fix. That's why that car will be held in higher regard. Just like the C6 Z06 is. That car, when someone talks about the C6 generation, it's either that or the ZR1, but usually it's the Z06 because it was cheaper. But anyway, guys, I think that's going to do it for today's video. We got 152 thumbs ups. We could still keep going with that. It'd be really awesome. We're going to jump out of here, though. I think Amber has had enough Corvette conversation for the night. So
I still have a little bit of wine left, though.
Yeah, she's not quite into a coma yet. By the way, that was Matt Hurley, right?
Lindsay Hurley has the same cup.
Yeah, look at that, though. It's etched with HPO. That's how you know it's a good time to get crunk, I guess. Anyway, guys, smash the thumbs up if you can. Let us know you'd like to have an Amber on. Maybe we'll try to get her on here more often. Subscribe if you haven't yet. And as always,
stay obsessed.
We'll see you
Good night, everyone.
Next Monday night, same time, same place.